Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. Do you know what time it is? It's morphin time. Dragon Sword! Yeah, I got the new Legacy Morpher, or one of the new Legacy Morphers. As you guys know, I already had the regular Legacy Morpher, but they came out with the green White Ranger Morpher, so the golden one, which is pretty nifty. Glad I got it. I love the Legacy collection that's coming out with Power Rangers. Just je ne sais quoi. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing a video at this point in the week rather than on Sunday, and why I didn't do one last Sunday. Well, last Sunday I didn't get to do one because I had a baptism to go to, and I mean it's my nephew. I kind of have to go to his baptism. The reason why I'm not doing it now is I took a week off from work, so I'm just relaxing and not giving a shit about anything. I cleaned up the house. I've been completed some games. I played and beat Bayonetta, which was surprisingly a lot better than I thought it was going to. I'm playing Professor Layton right now, the Azran Legacy. And I've just been chilling and having a good time. And I'm only the second day into my vacation, and I'm just chilling. I'm happy. As you can see, I have bed hair because I just didn't bother caring at all today. It's great. And this is the kind of vacation I need. Not going somewhere and having to do something or make plans for anything. It's just relaxing. Like I have no set plans except for Friday and Saturday. Friday's going to be a big D&D day. We're having a huge session. And then Saturday is going to be my birthday, which I'm turning 27. Holy shit, I am turning 27. But besides that, like yesterday, I just played video games all day. And then my buddies called up and they're like, hey, what are you doing later tonight at 10 o'clock? I'm doing whatever. What do you want to do? We'll go out and we'll get something to eat. I'm like, sure, whatever. Late night eat. And I got to do karate yesterday too. So, as you can see, I have time to do a video earlier. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through last week's comics real quick, and then I'm going to do this week's. And then I'm going to go over some of the news that has happened. Some pretty big news that involves our good old Diggy Boy, Mr. Grayson. But I'm going to just speed round last week's comics, and then we're going to go into this week's. So starting thing off, Batman Eternal #1. This was a great start to the Batman 52-week-long series. Really fun, a lot of suspense, leaves you off on a good cliffhanger, and the art is great. And there's one particular art picture. There's one particular scene that's done up by Jason Fabok that I want to show that is very reminiscent of Jim Lee's Batman, that a picture that they drew with Nightwing, if I can find it right here. Him and Gordon running looks eerily like Batman and Nightwing running, and what's it called? Batman Hush. But yes, 5 out of 5, great. Batgirl issue #30. It was okay. There was some nice emotional stuff. Possible spoilers to what happened to Dick Grayson. And she fights the Nightmare Man. 3 out of 5. Galsimo's writing helps, but all the supernatural stuff just doesn't feel like Batgirl. Flash Gordon, issue #1 from Dynamite. I love how Dynamite takes properties like this and just rolls with it. To be honest, I know Flash Gordon has an extensive comic history, but the only exposure I really had was from the incredibly cheesy movie, which was awesome. But still, I wanted to get into Flash Gordon because it's, swashbuckling, scoundrel-like fun. It looks pretty good, and although as this takes place after Flash Gordon's initial adventures in space, and then it kind of, throws you into the fray. But it does a good job at introducing new readers. I don't know how Flash was interpreted in the comics beforehand. I only, again, know the exposure from the movies, but you don't really need to know anything about this. All you need to know is Flash Gordon goes in space and causes trouble. This is a 4 out of 5. Would have liked it to be a complete reboot, but hey, shit happens. Green Lantern Corps issue #30 was pretty fun. We got to learn a little bit more about shapeshifter people. 4 out of 5. Constantine issue #13 gets a solid 3 out of 5. I like the stuff going on with the Cold Flame, but the whole mind-bending stuff that goes on here I really didn't care for. Move you over a bit more. Superboy issue number 30. Boy, do I miss Connor. Not that John is bad or anything, but I think DC's doing a good job at making me miss Connor Kent. Not Connor Kent, Connell. He's not called Connor Kent, New 52. This will get a 3.5 out of 5. Solid start to it, and then we also get the Guardian's first appearance in this, Mel. So we have a lot of stuff go on this. I really did like the beginning, a very nice, strong start, because all different Superboys from all different universes show up to fight John Kent. But again, I want Connor to come back at some point, if he does. Daredevil issue number 1.5. So, like I said, Daredevil issue number 1 did a good job at sucking me in, did a good job with the story, and I kind of see why everyone's been telling me to jump onto Daredevil. So, I am committed to Daredevil for the time being. I'm just a little disappointed because 1.5 was nowhere as good as issue number 1. Issue number 1 was a great start, really felt like a good old Silver Bronze Age Marvel-like comic. It really had a good fun feel to it. And then this is like I want to say possible futures, unless Daredevil has a kid. Again, I'm going into Daredevil blind. No pun intended. So I don't know much of the history, but it seems like this is set in the future, and I just don't know what's going on. And yeah, 2.5 out of 5. But again, I did like issue number 1, so I'm going to stick around. Justice League 3000, issue number 5. Boy, am I liking this comic a lot. I like the characters, I like the story, and I like the art, and I like the direction. Is it perfect? No, but they introduced Firestorm in this, some witty dialogue, and now that the Justice League of Year 3000 know their origin and know where they came from, it makes things even more interesting. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Power Girl and Huntress issue number 22. To be honest, I don't really remember this much. All I remember is that they eventually decide to go searching for their Earth. And there's like a mini cutscene in this where Huntress is fighting for her life against some people, which feels kind of random. This gets a 2.5 out of 5. It's just too conjointed and messed up. There's some good points in there, but not too many. There's enough bad that outweighs it. And lastly, Superman and Wonder Woman issue number 7, which will get a 4 out of 5. Strong issue. It does that nice big jump where Wonder Woman becomes a, what's it called, a god, and it gives us a little bit more information about Doomsday. So I am pumped about that. Superman Doom story are coming out. But that was last week's comics. Let us take a look at this week's comics, which came out today nonetheless. So first off is Superman, not Superman, whoa. Batman issue number 30. See, I was just reviewing the Superman comic. It kind of screwed me up. Batman issue number 30. This is starting the last part of Zero Year, which is the Overgrown City. I forget what the Savage City is what they're going to be calling it. And we get to see what Riddle has done. And a lot of what Scott Snyder teased us in interviews, we see here how the Riddler treats Gotham, how he is allowing people a chance to save Gotham and they can out-riddle him. Really does do a lot of the stuff that Scott Snyder has teased. I do find that about Scott. Scott teases the first issue very well, and then totally takes you for a loop and a turn for the rest of the arc, with any kind of story arc he's talking about. So, yeah, really fun. 5 out of 5. Great introduction to the story arc. I'm not the keenest on the whole Savage City part of Zero Year. I think my favorite part is still Secret City, which was the first act. But again, this hasn't ended, so we'll see. I guess it's just because something so dramatic and so drastic had happened in Batman's history in the very early going, but the same thing in Gotham got changed so much in the early going. Just seems a little off, but then you have to think about it. I mean, No Man's Land happened before, and not just that. I mean, stuff like this happens in real life, like even Hurricane Katrina and, natural disasters. So it's not impossible for this shit to happen. So this 5 out of 5. Oh, you know what? Should probably keep this up here because I gotta do my picks of the week. Batman and Wonder Woman issue number 30, or part of the Batman and. This is continuing the Hunt for Robin story arc. This was pretty fun. I thought Wonder Woman and Batman blended very well in this. They went to Paradise Island to stop Ra's al Ghul, who thinks he's found another Lazarus pit. This is going to get a 4 out of 5. The only thing that really, I think, hurt this issue, or not hurt it, but I didn't really care for, is like what it's a chase story arc. We're continuously chasing Ra's al Ghul. I know we have Batman and Frankenstein, and after that we have Batman and Ra's al Ghul, which is probably going to be the end of the story arc. But yeah, we just keep on chasing him, and not just that. But the thing that throws me off is Batman kind of just leaves Paradise Island. Why doesn't he just take Wonder Woman with him after the resolution with Ra's al Ghul? Hmm? But again, that would destroy the whole theme of the comic, and not just that, it would beg to the question, in all of Batman's problems, why doesn't he just call the Justice League up? Oh shit, Bane's back, and he's allying himself with the Joker. Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg. Hey, can you guys come down and help me out? Yeah, this will be quickie. Yeah, I understand, but still, I think Wonder Woman should go along for the ride. But maybe it's just because I love Wonder Woman. Batman Eternal issue number 2. You know what the great thing is about Batman Eternal is it's a weekly series, so we get this every week. This continues off the cliffhanger from the last issue, which I don't want to reveal if you guys didn't pick it up. Batman is distraught trying to help out Commissioner Gordon, and while this is going on, there's a shadowy figure from the Batman past in the background manipulating things, and we do get a reveal on who this individual is. And let me just give a hint. This individual is from, let's say, the 80s. So if you, well, yeah, he also showed up a little bit afterwards. But nice mysterious figure with a surprise that I did not see coming. I really didn't. So good, bad, whether or not you should get it. This is going to get a 5 out of 5. It does everything right. This weekly series is just entertaining. I really did like the whole Batman family kind of getting involved. It looks like Red Robin is going to be jumping in, which has really been disattached from the Batman universe for a while now. So it's kind of good to see Tim jumping in. So on a whole, 5 out of 5. You know what's not going to get a 5 out of 5, but still wasn't that bad, was Red Hood and the Outlaws. So Roy Harper, in his awesomeness, got well, not abducted. He's a stowaway on a ship that was stolen by aliens. And basically, he's trying to survive this whole entire thing, while at the same time, Red Hood and Starfire try to steal 2 spaceships, one to get where they need to go, and then once they get there, which is Shade, get another spaceship so that they can go help out Roy. This is going to get a 3.5 out of 5. It has a good cliffhanger. The characters all feel within character, but the thing that drops this is that the fight between Frankenstein is a little underwhelming, and I felt as though it's kind of shoehorned in. We don't really need Frankenstein in there. I think the time that was spent with following Shade and finding Frankenstein and all that stuff was a waste of time that we could have been spent on other things. But it does have a good cliffhanger, so we'll go from there. Moving on, Batwoman issue number 30. This was again continuing the Wolf Spider story arc. We find out more of what Wolf Spider is actually stealing, and in addition to that, another fight between him and Batwoman. And of course, Maggie Sawyer is having her own problems going on in her life involving her daughter and her ex. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I like Wolf Spider because he's kind of fun, friendly bad guy. Well, not fun friendly, but I mean, he has a really nice tone to him. I think he's really fun, and with all the heavy stuff we've had in Batwoman over the past few years, it's kind of cool that we're getting a character that's just more for the fun of it. In addition to that, the drama is still there, especially with Maggie Sawyer, so that balances out very well too. Great art, and the mystery is continuing. I'm liking the story arc. It's a damn shame that we never got to conclude the story arc where she's fighting Batman. I think that might happen in the annual that's coming out, but the only bad I can say about this is, like, they go to Arkham, but Arkham has some of the most screwed up inmates. It's supposed to be a place for the clinically insane, not super-powered metas. And that's just some kind of theme that I've been seeing in Arkham a lot lately. Most of Batman's villains are not superpowered in any way. The only exception to this, really, that I can think of off the top of my head is Clayface and Killer Croc, which are thrown in Arkham, but, like, Most of them, if you strip all the equipment, like Mr. Freeze, is just an ordinary man that, can't get suntan. I mean, Joker, all these people, I can see in Arkham, but like people that have the ability to turn into giant cockroaches or like a massive cockroaches and attack people really should be in Blackgate or Hell. One of the two. Or Pixie Lady, or Guy with the Face like Parasite. I mean, there's some crazy. There's like a fog person in here. Really, they shouldn't be in Arkham. They should be in Blackgate. But that's neither here nor there. 4 out of 5. Sealing the deal with the devil. Birds of Prey issue number 30. So basically, Ra's al Ghul is doing everything he can to get Mother Eve's ability to stay youthful because Ra's al Ghul has a phobia of death. And it looks like his Lazarus pits are running out. He made a deal with Condor and made a deal with Black Canary. Who keeps up their deal to work with Ra's al Ghul, or who betrays Ra's al Ghul? And more importantly, where does this go for the Birds of Prey? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, the writing is very spot on with this. I do like the story arc taking something different and doing something new. It doesn't feel like the status quo with a lot of story arcs with superhero comics. In particular, I also like that these characters are written so well with so many dynamics to them. I don't like how Condor is kind of a dick, but this team has really grown on you with Strikes and Black Canary and Batgirl. I really do like the makeup and formula of this team. Bad Zilch. Christy Marks has been doing a great job with this comic, and I have been enjoying it, so pick it up. Pick up the previous 2 issues just so you know what the hell's going on, but yeah. Harley Quinn issue number 5. So Harley Quinn's helping out this old guy take out some other bad guys because she's just trying to help out the dude. This is good again at 4 out of 5. The good is that there's some fun moments in this. The art is great, and Harley Quinn's writing is really fun. Bad is there's a few scenes that just aren't necessary, like her dream sequence, which really doesn't play anything towards the story. In addition to that, it leaves off on like a not a very well done cliffhanger. But besides that, 4 out of 5, I do like Harley Quinn a lot, and I think this is definitely a comic that if you want a little more fun from all the melodramatic stuff that you've been getting in comics lately, this is a good place to go. Wolverine issue number 4. So this answers even more questions to what's going on with Wolverine, what's his ultimate plot, and maybe Wolverine hasn't really got off the deep end. What I do find funny about this is in this he kind of, gives the bird to the Jean Grey School for Gifted Young, I don't even know what it's called anymore, and kind of goes off on his own. And everyone's kind of pissed at him for it, and Kitty Pryde's pissed at him, but like, jeez, poor Wolverine's gone through a pretty traumatic experience. He's lost his mutant power. He's having a hard time coping with that. Sabretooth basically ruined his life, and everyone's basically telling him to get a set of balls. Like literally, Kitty Pryde says that he's a fucking monster in this. Like I think she's being a kind of a bitch towards him. But to be fair, other than that, this does reveal a lot of stuff. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5. I really don't like how people treat Wolverine in this. They treat him like a savage, like an idiot. Wolverine isn't that. Wolverine's a pretty smart fellow. So, and they treat him really nasty. It's Kitty Pryde in particular, and I like Kitty Pryde. I think Kitty Pryde's one of the most underused of the X-Men. But geez, they paint her off as like an asshole. Um, yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Wolverine and the X-Men issue number 3. So this series came out, I completely forgot about it. So I picked up the first 3 issues, and yeah, this is one of the things that Marvel does that pisses me off. DC does stuff like this sometimes too, but Marvel is notorious for it. So this is issue number 3. They renumbered it from number 1. So I'm thinking, hey, I'll give it a shot. I'm telling people all the time that I'm giving Marvel a shot because I want to show that I'm not playing favoritism, that I legitimately want to give Marvel a shot. Maybe it's a good jumping on point. And then I jump on, it's a horrible jumping on point. The first two issues do a horrible job introducing me to these characters. In addition to that, it picks up on storylines that I did not read. It is not a good jump on point. So major deduction to this comic because of which I thought, hey, I'll try another X-Men comic. I know Cyclops is single series coming out, and I might take a roll at that because Cyclops has turned into quite a badass lately. But this X-Men, all new X-Men, Wolverine the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Legacy, X-Men, Ladder in the Money in the Bank, TLC. There's a bunch of different X-Men comics, and I decided to do Wolverine the X-Men. And the only thing that makes me possibly, keyword is possibly, pick up issue number 4 is I do like Storm and Wolverine's relationship in this, and I do like how they kind of co-leading this team. And I always thought they should have got together, a little claw in the storm, shall I say? But in all honesty, this is things that Marvel does that pisses me off. I know nothing that's going on. I know nothing about the X-Men. All I know is Quentin is someone important, and that he eventually becomes a Phoenix because there's X-Men from the future. But I don't know who the X-Men from the future, and apparently Apocalypse is coming. Yeah. 2 out of 5. I might get issue number 4, but don't hold out hope. Supergirl issue number 30. Continuing the Red Daughter of Krypton, we get to see more of Supergirl actually enjoy being a Red Lantern. It's a nice release for her. She feels comfortable there. It's a place where she feels like she belongs. And this has been a fun story arc, not only for Supergirl, but also for the Red Lanterns. But what I'm going to say is, well, this is well written. There's some fun parts to it. There's some good action, and I felt as though it's a natural progression for the character. There's a few things that I think hurts this. Primarily is that there's some aliens in this that we weren't really introduced that well to, and I don't really care about. Now, it'd be something different if it was Lobo we were going up against, or we saw more of this demon chick that has been hinted throughout the series. But to be fair, I don't care about the aliens. That's why I'm going to keep this at 4 out of 5. Still fun read, but yeah. Pandora, Trinity Sin, issue number 10. Finally, the comic can get back on its own and not crossing over with everything, like Trinity War and Forever Evil and Forever Evil Blight. This thing has been like a stepping stone for all the crossovers. But I still like Pandora. So Pandora returns, meets up with her boy. I forget his name because he's only showed up in like 3 issues so far. Give me a sec. Marcus. Showed up to Marcus. Professes her love to Marcus, goes Super Saiyan, and gives him a kiss. While this is going on, Gigantic kind of shows up and really wants to duke it out with Pandora. Why? Because Pandora kind of stabbed her in the eye. Yeah, that would probably piss me off too. And while this is also going on, Vandal Savage, who was just in Swamp Thing, is deciding to find Pandora because Vandal Savage is not too happy with her evil either. Well, he is evil. But not too happy with her either because, well, she kind of forced him to hold that box, and it kind of did something to Savage. This is a fun go. I'm going to keep it at a 4 out of 5. So, I don't think it does anything that wows me, but I do like the character a lot. I like that they're investing in this character. And I'm interested to see where it goes with Vandal Savage. There's just some stuff on the side, like with the Argus agents, that I just don't give two lickings about. Besides that, fun read. New comic this week, Sinestro issue number 1. So this comic kind of answers all the questions we want with Sinestro, with also giving us a good direction for the comic. And I'll give you a teeny bit of spoilers, but not too much. Parallax is not part of Sinestro anymore. He got rid of that shit. Because, unlike most people, Sinestro's like, hey, probably having a demonic entity, a fear in my body is not really good for my complexion. So I'm going to get rid of that shit. So that's what he did. And now we have Sinestro kind of trying to, take penance for everything. But he finds out a few things. One is someone important to him is currently being held by the Sinestro Corps. And 2, that his people might not be dead. So Sinestro makes it his personal mission to reclaim his people. Because, remember how his planet blew up in Wrath of the First Lantern? Yeah? No? Okay. Well, anyways, that's the basic draw for Sinestro. Is he wants to go and save his people and make sure he doesn't become the sole survivor of an extinct race. In addition to that, he basically wants to get his Sinestro Corps back under control because, boy, Krillo, he's just fucking shit up. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. This does a good job at defining what the comic's going to be about. Good job at reintroducing Sinestro into the comics, and while at the same time being a good jumping on point for people that are either vaguely or not at all aware of who Sinestro is. It gives you enough to know that shit went on beforehand, but at the same time, it really kind of reintroduces Sinestro to people. For example, my friend who's never really read comics before and only knows Sinestro from the video games or the movies reads this, you get a pretty good idea. You probably say, how the hell was this planet blown up? But besides that, I mean, it's actually a good introduction to Sinestro. The art is pretty good, and I think overall the writing is very nicely done for Sinestro too. I don't know who the writer is, Cullen Bunn, and the writer Dale Eagles Ham. Uh, if they've done stuff before, I probably missed. I don't know, but kudos to you guys. 5 out of 5. Sinestro, very strong start. Very strong start. You know what does not have a strong start right now for me is another Green Lantern book, Green Lantern New Guardians. So the good thing about this story arc that I liked is we've been dealing a lot with Exhal, who is the Tamaranian god. And there's a lot of nice little snippets of things going on with this story arc dealing with her. In addition to that, there's some pretty good action in this too, but I felt as though the story kind of fell flat for me. And again, I felt as though Justin Jordan was a little too dialogue heavy here, baby. Um, I'm not a big fan of his new Guardians. I really loved his Deathstroke, and I like a lot of his other stuff. I liked his Superboy too, but really not a big fan of the Green Lantern New Guardians. A 2.5 out of 5. Moving on to Warlords of Mars, or Warlord of Mars issue number 100. Humongous spectacular, which is $8. There's a couple covers to this. I have the other covers, but I put them in my box, so I haven't bought them yet. This was my favorite cover of the bunch. So I guess if you take all the Warlord of Mars books, Warlord of Mars, all the spin-off series, Deja Thoris, and all that stuff, and put them together, you hit issue number 100. Really, you're you're trying to grab at something here, Dynamite, but you don't realize that this isn't actually issue number 100. But anyways, this is kind of its own standalone story, and the story is really focused on Wooly, which is the dog from Warlords of Mars. And on a whole, it deals with the dog and also deals with the sword, which think of this sword as the evil Excalibur, the evil Master Sword. Having it makes you like the super badass. And it makes you a little crazy. So you get 3 chapters. Chapter number 1 deals with fighting the sword. Chapter number 2 deals with getting rid of the sword. Chapter number 3 deals with Wooly. So, yeah, on a whole, this was great. This was like fucking candy to me. Because this is what Warlords of Mars is all about. Fun, sci-fi, good old-fashioned storytelling with great art and really, really enjoyable. And I implore people to get into the Warlords of Mars comics or to read the John Carter books. I've read some of the John Carter books, not all of them, but if you don't want to read the books, the comics are very faithful adaptations of book 1 through 3. And then after book 3, they kind of do their own thing, which I'm very much for. There's nothing wrong with adding to the series. Um, so yeah, this was a really good story. It's a 5 out of 5 of Muscat. Thor issue number 21. Now I said I was going to drop Thor, but I forgot to, so it came in this week. This issue wasn't that bad. I liked how Thor was pissed. I liked how they was fighting. I really don't care for the villain that much because I feel it's always a little cliche. And the Galactus shit is kind of fun, but it's like, why are we doing it? But on the whole, this was a decent issue. 3 out of 5. I think if I don't know. The art is really nice. I really do like the art. I might hold on to Thor for a little bit longer. I think I just need to get through this story arc. I really haven't cared for it that much. Wonder Woman, issue number 30, 5 out of 5. Get it. Wonder Woman is continuingly awesome. This is more of Wonder Woman trying to get her people together to fight against the Firstborn. And while going on, Firstborn is just causing some havoc. And Hera is turning into a badass here. And what a cliffhanger. Everything. Get issues number 1 through 29, then buy issue number 30, and you're going to see that Wonder Woman is one of the most fun, best comic series out there. That's a fact. And last this week goes to Justice League issue number 29. So this is Cyborg and the Metal Man versus Grid. And this was awesome. And let me tell you why. Number one is Cyborg, well, getting an elevated status in the New 52 to what he was in the pre-New 52, to being a founding member of the Justice League. Unfortunately, hasn't been getting as much love as the 6 other founding members. Hal, Barry, Diana, Arthur, Bruce, Clark, all of them have at least a comic book to themselves. Some 2, some 3, some 5, some 7 like Batman. Anyways, Cyborg doesn't. His only adventures are in Justice League. So the past 2 issues have been focusing on Cyborg, well, 3 issues. Cyborg rebuilding himself, Cyborg getting back in the saddle, and Cyborg ready to go fuck up some shit. And it's been a fun ride. The new look for Cyborg is great. It's very similar to his look from beforehand, the big bulky look, but slimmed down and has a very much George Press tone to it from the new Teen Titans. Love it. And while in addition to this, what is good is we also see the Metal Men come in, and I would love to see the Metal Men get their own backup in Justice League for a while, similar to how Shazam had it. So get a little backup treatment to them. And we also get to see them go up against Grid, which was a fun to see them actually fight this bastard, because he's been the biggest thorn in the side for the DC universe of the crime syndicates, because he's basically controlling everything. And it's a nice little nice character development for Cyborg. He finally accepts who he is, and it leads into Forever Evil issue number 7. 5 out of 5. Really great issue this week. It's kind of tough choosing which books are going to be my Andrewcutter picks of the week. I have to remind myself which ones are which, but you know what? Oh, it's so tough. Because Wonder Woman should be in this pick, but I only do 3. No ties. Coming in at number 3 is Batman 0 Year issue number 30. I love the story arc. I like what's happening, and the more you read of it, the more you want more of it. You gotta love that comic. A comic that can do that. Warlords of Mars issue number 100. I wasn't kidding. This is a great read and a nice jumping on point for people, and it's a good segue into Deja of Mars. Deja of Mars is going to be, and let me just read this, a 4-issue miniseries by Mark Rainer, art by Jet Thero Morales, and main covers by Jay Carlo. Okay, the covers look great, but yeah, basically John Carter goes missing, and that's going to be a fun 4-issue series. But yeah, Warlord Mars issue number 100. Get into it; it's good stuff. And then number 1 goes to Justice League issue number 29 for all the reasons that I said. It's just a great Cyborg story, and the Metal Men are treated very nicely. The art is great, and it's just a fun ride. Fun ride. I cannot express how much I like that comic. Other runner-ups were, Wonder Woman was fantastic, and Batman Eternal is continuously good, but those comics really take the cake for me. So, moving on, news. So I guess the big news is we finally learned Dick Grayson's fate at the end of Forever Evil. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm going to spoil it, and we're going to talk about it. If you don't like this, skip ahead. I don't know how much. Skip ahead like 2 minutes. I would say 2 minutes is a safe amount of time. So, again, spoilers. We find out that Dick Grayson's getting a new comic series upon the end of Forever Evil. In this comic series, I forget the name of it, is basically going to be Dick Grayson, Agent of Spiral. So what's going to happen is Dick Grayson is going to drop the Nightwing persona and become a super secret agent working for the espionage group known as Spiral, which Kat Kane was part of in Batman Incorporated. The original Batgirl, who was Batwoman that was killed by Bronze Tiger, and Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams run on Batman that originally first introduced Ra's al Ghul. But yeah, um, he's going to be a secret agent. So let's get into the good, the bad, and how I feel about this. Good. Dick Grayson isn't dead. One of the things I said is I don't care if Dick Grayson changes his persona and does something different. That's fine. He always has Nightwing that he can fall back on. If Dick Grayson, Agent of Spiral, doesn't work, he can always become Nightwing again. It's really not that hard. I mean, that's what happened with him with Batman. He became he was Batman and he became Nightwing again. So Dick Grayson isn't dead. That's good for me. I can live with him being something else. So Dick Grayson's not dead is a good point, and that's a horrible thing to say because comic book companies really shouldn't take characters away from us. But again, Dick Grayson isn't dead. I'm happy about that. He's my third favorite superhero of all time. Two is this is an excellent opportunity for DC to kind of step into a zone that they don't necessarily do much in, and that is espionage and spy thriller books. Yeah, DC really doesn't do that at all. I know Marvel does a little bit of it, and then, some of the other parties like Dynamite and IDW and Dark Horse do it, but like really DC doesn't do it at all. So this could be a good gateway drug for DC to do more stories like that. Honestly, I think they should have done something like Argus with Stephen Trevor. He would have been a little bit better of a fit than Dick Grayson, but hey, it is what it is. And three, hey, let's give Dick Grayson a chance at this. The great thing about Dick Grayson is he's Dick Grayson. He's not Batman. He's not Robin. He's Nightwing. He's Dick Grayson. He can take up any persona he wants because, well, his character's always evolving and changing. Bad is Dick Grayson as a spy seems a little off, especially a spy wielding guns. Yeah, Jason Todd can kind of get away with it, but I don't know about Dick. So it's kind of weird. And in addition to that, why did we cancel Nightwing for this? Why can't we just have the story happen in Nightwing? Continue the Nightwing ordering of numbers. That's just me. But I'm happy that Dick is still alive. So that fills my heart with relief. Because after reading Batgirl, I thought he was dead. But he's not. So I'm happy. Two other news, DC related, is uh, so I guess I was wrong, and I will admit I'm wrong when it comes down to Teen Titans. I thought Teen Titans were going to stop for a bit, but it looks like right after issue number 30 in the annual, they're starting Teen Titans back up with the team of Wonder Girl, Green Beast Boy, Raven, Bunker, and Red Robin. And how I feel about this, I'm actually very happy. And not just because Gar is green again. Not just because Beast Boy is green again. Um, yeah, you can tell I'm a kid of the '80s because I call him Changeling, not Beast Boy. But um, I think this is a good fresh start for Teen Titans, which it needed. Nothing against Scott Lobdell's run on it. There was a lot of high points, but I think it felt tired, for lack of a better term. Like ideas were done, but never fully went through, and because of this, I mean, it just kind of fell apart. Whatever the case may be, this is a fresh start for the Teen Titans, and I welcome it. Plain, flat, and simple. I welcome it. So that's good. In addition to that, also the Suicide Squad is getting a relaunch onto issue number 1 with the team of Black Manta, Deathstroke the Terminator, Joker's daughter, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. Good about this is Deathstroke. Really good idea to put him on the Suicide Squad. And I like Black Manta on there too. Two badass villains that just need to be showcased, and perfect place to put them is the Suicide Squad. Bad. Why is Joker's daughter there? It's kind of good that they're trying to flush her out, but like, why is she there? I mean, you have Harley Quinn. She's practically a female Joker, so seems a little off. But yeah, that's what's going on in the news that I can think of. And did you guys see the Super Smash Brothers Direct? Oh my God! Pretty sure I was horny during the whole entire time. I mean, Charizard is his own character. Greninja is showing up. Samus, Sheik, Zelda, and Zero Suit Samus are all separate characters. Oh my God, customizable move sets, the different online play, multi bene. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Oh, and the 3DS version is coming out before the regular version, which is brilliant. One, that means the two versions are competing against each other. Two, that means we get a taste of the 3DS version and waters our mouth for the Wii U version. So this is a fantastic idea. And if it came down to Wii U or 3DS version, people are going to pick the Wii U version. But if you're waiting, you get the 3DS version. First, I mean, you're going to get it because you want to play it. You want to get that brawl in your mouth, that melee in your mouth. Oh, I am totally looking forward to the new Super Smash Bros. I don't know who I'm gonna play. I'm thinking about going back to Link, because I skipped him in Brawl. And the original series of the three games, I might as well go into this because shit, we have time. And I don't know if my wife just came home or not. She's out doing something. I just peeked out the window, but no. If you go through this, the original game I played as Pikachu, Captain Falcon, Link, with Link being my main. Melee, I played as Link as my main, Samus as my secondary, and then Captain Falcon as my third, but I kind of played as everyone, but those were my major ones. And then Brawl, going into Brawl, I said, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna take completely different characters and not play the ones that I normally played with. So my main characters, Wolf was my main character in Brawl. Oh God, I have to go back. Who else did I play in Brawl? I played Pokemon Trainer a lot, so that you can see why I'm pumped for Charizard. Because Charizard was the main one I played out of Pokemon Trainer. I also played with Rob quite a bit, Rob the Robot. But for this one, I don't know who I'm going to play. So many options, just so delectable. I think I might want to go back to Link and see how he's changed because everyone's movesets are kind of getting edited and changed. So I think that could be for the better. Make Link a little bit better of a character. Brawl, he was downgraded a lot. Melee, he was a lot better. But see how he is in this game. I kind of want to try Zero Suit Samus because I played a lot of Zero Suit Samus in Brawl, but she wasn't really that good. But now that she's getting her own kind of thing to her, let's go for it. I'm interested in Charizard. I'm probably going to be playing a lot of him, but I'm also looking forward to a lot of the new characters too that are coming out. So we'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. But Brawl looks like it's going to be awesome. Well, not Brawl, but the new Super Smash Bros. Which I keep on calling Brawl because there's no sub name to it. It's just Super Smash Bros. U or Super Smash Bros. 3DS, but it doesn't matter. I am pumped. And you know what else I'm pumped about? My backlog of games are almost complete. With defeating Bayonetta, all I have left is Professor Layton, Azran Legacy, Project Cross Zone, which I'm halfway through. I just stopped playing it. Scribblenauts Unlimited with is a super Scribblenauts Mass I meant, and Luigi's Mansion, and finally the whole Metal Gear HD collection. Also Fallout New Vegas, but the Xbox games I'm not too worried about beating. I'm going to try to beat Professor Layton this week before vacation ends. We'll see what happens with that. What else? I think that's all. Let's get into questions and answers, shall we? And I know I don't have a battle royale for the week. I didn't even think of this during my vacation, but I'll get one. Um, Evil Mastermind. How would you reintroduce Ralph and Sue Debbie into the New 52? I would probably do it in the Flash comic. Give a kind of a more traditional sense in there, but I would have them in the Flash comic, make them appear in the first. Let's say give them 4 issues, do a story arc with them, and then I would immediately move Elongated Man over to the Justice League United, which is the new series coming out, which would be a nice little place for him. Not his own comic, because nothing against that Elongated Man, but I don't think his comic would sell that well, but on the Justice League, it would be a good place. Nick Lenz. Hey, Andrew. First, before the questions, I meant default Batman series that you would like to see come back. Oh, so do you mean default Batman comic series? In that case, Legend of the Dark Knight. That was a great series. Sorry I didn't understand it. My bad, Nick. Uh, Now the questions. First, did you know Teen Titans and Suicide Squads are being relaunched in July? Yes, I did. I just said that. Um, Two, Teen Titans is getting the current creative team from Red Hood and the Outlaws, and Suicide Squad's lineup is going to be Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Black Manta, Joker, Donna. Yes, so covered that. Cool. Second, why did you drop Fantastic Four? Part money, part I wasn't getting grasping, and the red costumes were just throwing me off. I know it sounds childish to say, but I wasn't too interested. Maybe I might continue giving it a shot, but again, money. I think that's the important thing. Marvel is like my fourth favorite publisher. I don't want to have. I have a lot of other comics that could be taking Marvel's spots, and one thing I try to make to people is I think a lot of people think I hate Marvel. I don't hate Marvel. It's just not my cup of tea. Marvel and DC has two different kind of readers. While I do give Marvel a chance, I want people to know that I do give it a chance. But if it doesn't hook me right away, I'm not going to keep it. What has hooked me? Captain America. What has hooked me? Wolverine. I mean, and Daredevil hooked me. Thor hooked me in the beginning, but Thor is kind of massive right now. Everything else just really hasn't been hooking me that much lately. So we'll see what goes on. Third, have you had a chance to see Captain America the Winter Soldier? No, I'm pissed. My friend and I were supposed to go out and see that on Monday. Today is Wednesday. But it didn't happen. But I'm going to try to see it maybe this week. Um, Fourth, have you thought of picking up Transformers Regeneration 1 now that the series is over? Mm, I'm not really in a Transformers mood. I love Transformers, just really am not in the mood. I have to be in the mood to pick up the comic. Sorry. The King Zilla 9, Andrewcutter 2. Can you do an update of your timeline video? Because since the new 52 came out, I got very confused. Well, the Kingzilla 19 or 9. You and I are both confused. I would love to release a timeline video for you guys. But to be honest, I'm having trouble mapping out where all the Batman stuff goes in the new 52. I can kind of half-ass it, but I'm sure you guys don't want me to half-ass it. So please allow me to figure out the mess that is the new 52 continuity, and then I can give you an answer. Sounds fair? Tom Polak, nice to have you back, Andrew. Of the remaining comic movies coming out, which ones are you looking forward to the most? Well, I want to see Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and then Batman and Superman, but that's not coming out for a bit. I am interested in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I need to watch Amazing Spider-Man 1 first, but I am interested in it. Microsoft Man 5. Nice to have you back, Andrew. Recently read Green Lantern Rise of the Third Army in trade. And I was wondering. Question number 1. Did you like the Rise of the Third Army crossover event and the Wrath of the First Lantern any good? And 2. What lantern would you be or would want to join? Thanks, bud. Aaron. Question number 1. Rise of the Third Army really wasn't a great crossover. It started off strong, but it really didn't do anything for me. However, Wrath of the First Lantern was a fairly well handled crossover event, which, while the middle wasn't too great, the ending was so satisfying of everything that Jeff Johns done. So it really does get my stamp of approval. So Rise of the Third Army, Wrath of the First Lantern, yeah. Um, Second question, what lantern would I want to be or join? Probably Green Lantern, seeing that their powers are the best and seem to have the least amount of drawbacks. Red Lanterns, your whole body gets fucking napalmed out of you, and you die if you take off the ring. Definitely not something I want. Sapphires, you really become an emotional wreck. Indigos, you become a mindless pacifist. Blue Lanterns, you become a fanatical religious person. Sinestro, actually, no, there's nothing wrong with the Sinestro Corps rings. You have to be kind of a dick, but you can still get away with that. Am I missing any of them? A White Lantern ring would be great. So white or green? Not black. Black would be bad. No Black Lantern ring. I do not want to be a zombified dead guy. Eating hearts. Brian Goller. When you were a kid and playing with action figures, did you mix universe? My brother used to make Picard fight the Ninja Turtles and drove me crazy. No, I never mixed universes. That would drive me crazy too. Captain Marvel Thunder. Hey Andrew, what did you think of WrestleMania XXX, particularly Undertaker's streak ending? Daniel Bryan, my favorite wrestler right now, beating Triple H and winning the title, and Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Uh, okay, so my thoughts on WrestleMania 30. It was a meh WrestleMania. Highlights for me were the Battle Royale and Cesaro winning that. I thought that was pretty darn cool. Daniel Bryan winning the title was awesome at the end. I think he deserves it, and it's a good, fresh new start for WWE. In addition to that, I really, and again, this is me playing favoritism. I'm being biased here, but I did think it was cool when Rock, Austin, and Hogan were in the ring together, the three biggest wrestlers of all time, kind of just talking with each other. It was a pretty cool moment, to say the least. It would have been cool if like three-man band came out and challenged him to a triple man tag team match. That would have been awesome. But no, it was really cool to see those guys in the ring. Bad Cena winning is always disappointing, especially when you have this fresh new young talent and Cena beats him. Really, Cena? Seriously? I mean, it's seriously. Um, in addition to that, Taker's streak, I just don't care anymore. I actually was happy that Taker lost because everyone in the room's jaw dropped. My friend Connor, his favorite wrestler is Taker, and he's just joking around like, "Oh, I'd be okay if Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar," and all that. And then Happy went like this. His jaw dropped. It was hilarious. So I don't really care about that. What else? It wasn't really that too interesting of a WrestleMania. Like I thought some of the matches were just not entertaining. It was kind of cool to see the Shield destroy people, but like they took out the New Age Outlaws and Kane like they were nobodies. Really pushing them, but hey, whatever. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Some pretty cool moments, but some meh moments. And the Hall of Fame was always cool too. God bless Ultimate Warrior soul. I was never a big Ultimate Warrior fan, but I did respect him, even though he had some crazy moments. It was kind of cool to see that the bridges were mended between him and WWE. And to see him pass away is horrible. It's sad. And he passed away young too. I think it was what 52. I could be wrong. But just when everything was good between him and WWE and him and Vince and probably him and Hogan too, Terry. I mean, it's sad to see that happen. Uh, Moving on. Green Arrow Hunter. Hey Andrew, why do you think the Warner Brothers always uses Lex Luthor and General Zod for Superman live action movies instead of trying other members of his rogue gallery, like Brainiac, Doomsday, etc.? Battle Royale, She-Hulk versus Wonder Woman. Probably the reason why is Superman's rogue gallery isn't as well known for the general public. People know Zod, and people know Lex Luthor. If I asked my wife who Brainiac is, she'd probably look at me and be like, a Nintendo video game? Or if I asked her Doomsday, she'd say an R-rated movie. People wouldn't know this general stuff. It'd be cool. I mean, I want to see Doomsday, and I think it'll happen eventually someday. But I mean, Lex and Zod sells money, and that's why they do it. Money, baby, money. Um, Lone Wolf, Andrew, you have to play Jedi Knight 2. It is awesome. I will eventually. One day I shall. Have you read Vector Prime? No, I have not. I do not know what it's about. Also, where is the Star Wars on your list of best franchises? Very close to the top. If I had to have a best franchises, I'm pretty sure Star Wars would be in the top five. When you have time, I think it would be great to do the top 10 best franchises. A good BR would be Battle Royale would be Dash Rendar versus Han Solo. That would be pretty good. I know who I would pick, and people may not be happy with me on that. Nick's Lens, two things. First, what's your view on the Unknown Soldiers, all three versions? All three versions? The only version I really know of is the New 52. Obviously, there was the 80s and the 70s and the 80s one, but are you talking about throughout his whole entire publishing? Second, did you know Star Spangled War Stories is going to be written by the writer of All Star Western? Oh, Jimmy Palmiotti. I would not be surprised by that. And Justin Gray. Felipe19991. Hey, Andrew, sorry, but I think Booster Gold was probably a pre-first April Fool's joke. To reform my last week question, do you think that now Green Arrow isn't a Batman wannabe, as he was in the past, and now becoming his own serious character? Oh, do I think he's not a Batman wannabe? I don't think he was ever really a Batman wannabe. Um, I think that would be unfair to say that anyone that has money or no superpowers would be a Batman wannabe. I think he's becoming his own character, and I like what they've been doing with Green Arrow. You guys remember, before the New 52, I didn't care about Green Arrow, but since then, he's really done well, and I'm happy. So, good Green Arrow. I don't think of him as a Batman wannabe. Christian Quinn, hey Andrew, welcome back. Have you read Dice, the maker of? Have you heard that Dice, the maker of Battlefield series, is going to reboot the Star Wars Battlefront series? And do you think they're going to put any expanded universe battles in new Battlefront games? I did not know this. I think that's good because Battlefronts were a pretty darn good series and there needs to be a new one. Do I think they'll use some expanded universe stuff? Yeah, of course. Fan service, you have to. Expanded universe stuff. If Star Wars was a incredibly good looking individual, fan service would be that the expanding universe would be the nudie parts of it. Like everyone wants that fine ass. And that's what the expanded universe is. That nice fine ass. And do you think they're gonna reboot the Resident Evil movies? I don't know. They have one more left with Mila Jovovich. We know that, and after that, don't know. Galactus versus Doctor Manhattan. Ooh, it's a good battle royale. I gotta think of this stuff for next week. Mikey Comic Guy, glad to have you back, Andrew. Great video, keep it up. Thank you very much, Mikey. Blue Lantern 2814. It really bothers me that Earth 2 Superman is named Kal-El instead of Kal and not Kal-El. What can you do? Zach Brown, I'm glad Daniel Bryan finally won the gold at WrestleMania. And it was cool seeing Stone Cold Hulk Hogan, your favorite, The Rock, last night. But my question is, were you surprised by Brock Lesnar ending the undefeated streak? Because I was pissed because Taker is my all-time favorite wrestler. Zach, to dig deeper into that, was I surprised? Yeah, I was surprised. I thought Taker was going to retire undefeated, or that that Sting was going to come in and defeat him. Am I pissed? No. The guy has 21 victories at WrestleMania. My favorite wrestler, Rock, is like an even 50-50 and has never won a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. It's not the quantity, but the quality. Take, for example, my favorite wrestler, The Rock. He has never won a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. However, if you look at his matches, they're all fantastic matches, whether he won or lost them. In addition to that, he's one of the only people to defeat Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and John Cena at WrestleMania, legitimately without cheating. Looking back at all of Undertaker's matches, they were fantastic. My favorite WrestleMania Undertaker match is probably against Ric Flair, but I don't know why. I just thought it was a pretty brutal match. But for him to lose and have a 21 and like 1, there's nothing wrong with that. I know it's gonna hurt because John Cena being the Rock at WrestleMania last year hurt me for a whole fucking year, but you'll get over it, and you're gonna realize all the good times you've had with it. Gay Comic Book Geek, hey Paul, you have the Dragon Dagger. Nice, I know, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? Dragon Dagger, now Legacy Morpher Gold Ranger style. Not Gold Ranger, but Gold Legacy Morpher. They really have to do the Legacy Power Weapons and then the Legacy Zeo Morphers. That would be pretty cool. So I can go, it's morphin' time! No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or how Tommy did it in Forever Red, 1, 2, 3. Anyways, Exvalis, first and foremost, you have the Dragon Dagger. I wanted that one since I was 10 years old, you lucky bastard. Thank you. Let's go to Toys R Us there. Only question this week. Don't you Don't you, as a gamer, feel like you've missed an entire generation of gaming being a main Wii gamer only? I'm basically asking how the Wii fans like yourself are also happy and content not playing most of the third party games that came during the previous generation. Andrew, help me understand the Wii gamer's mindset of not caring about third party games. Well, Xvalis, to answer your question, you're not necessarily 100% right with me with third party games. I do have an Xbox 360 and I have played a lot of third party games. I look at my Xbox 360. So I kind of just went on for like 10 minutes answering your question, and my video cut me off. So basically, what I was going to say, and I'm going to go through it real quick, is with third party games, that's not necessarily true with me. I have played third party games on systems that aren't Nintendo. I had a Xbox 360. If I looked at my games right now, I see a ton of third party games from Fallout to Oblivion and Skyrim to Assassin's Creed to Bioshock and Force Unleashed to um, Castlevania, Fables, and everything in between. I mean, everything in between. Batman Arkham City, the Resident Evil games. I mean, I I I played these games. The thing is with me for a couple things is one is for me personally is time. I just don't have time to play all these games. And if I'm gonna pick a poison, I'm gonna pick it with Nintendo. I like to have diversity in my game series, so I can't. How can I say this? I know people that only play first person shooters. That's their bread and butter. They only play Call of Duty, Battlefield, that's their thing. I know people that only play sports games. I actually just got promoted at work, so I'm at a different location, but my former manager all he played was Madden. That's all he played, period. And yeah, so that's it. That's his bread and butter. My buddy Jonathan, that I went out to eat with at Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday, great place to eat. He plays a lot of the games that I like. He plays Super Smash Bros. He plays Pokemon. He's never played a Zelda game. A lot of people would be baffled by that. That's like a rite of passage for a lot of people playing a Zelda game. Or I mean, I'm not a big Final Fantasy person, but playing Final Fantasy VII was almost like a thing you had to do when you were a kid. Like some of these games are almost staples that you would think people would play. GoldenEye, but some people haven't, and that's fine. I mean, certain people have certain tastes, and certain people have certain niches, and people pick their poison. You can't play everything. That's the thing. As much as I would love to have a PS4 or PS5, it's PS4 now, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Wii U, the PS Vita, and the 3DS and play every single fucking game that came out on it. It's not enough time in the day. Me busting out a game is a tremendous success for me because I beat the game. Like right now, I can't wait to beat Azran Legacy for Professor Layton. But like I have a backlog of games I have to play now. I don't need to get another system and have another backlog of these third-party games. But for me, there's a few reasons. Reason number one is I love the Nintendo selection of games. 90% of my favorite game series are Nintendo games or Nintendo exclusives. So that's an important thing. That's what's attracted me to them. And those are the games that I stick with. Um, Number two is time and money. I don't have enough money to buy that many games. I mean, look at my game selection right now. Look at that. That's a lot of games, and that's a lot of money. And that's not including the Xboxes that are right over there. Oh, my exclusive Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition box set. Wink, 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 wink. I'm winking, but you can't see it. But I have a tremendous amount of games. That's a lot of money. If I want to do all the third party games people want to do, it would just be over the top. In addition to a lot of third party games out there, I'm not really interested in. For example, Call of Duty. I don't play it because I'm not a big first person shooter fan. I mean, most of the third party stuff that I can think of, I can get, and I do. So that's my answer. Hope that's a good enough answer for you. Um, but yeah, I guess it's just people pick their poisons. I guess the question is really this: what about a lot of people that play third-party games? Why don't they play more of the exclusive games? It's nothing against Nintendo right now, not doing well with what is it called? Um, the Wii U, because this is like an anomaly for Nintendo. Nintendo's made tremendous amount of money off the Wii, off 3DS, off DS, off Super Nintendo, off N64. They made an okay amount of money off the GameCube, but like the regular Nintendo, all of them have been successful series game consoles. I think the Wii U is the first one that's kind of flopped a little slow. Well, not the first one, but I mean it's the major one, so it's a little hiccup right now for Wii U. But I'm sure the other next system that comes out is just going to dominate. I think video games are going through an odd transition as it is now. So that's my answer. That's a little long-winded. I'm sorry it's a little long-winded, but that's my video for the week. If you guys have any questions, please by all means post them, and I'd be happy to answer them. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.